Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm currently sat in the sun in the garden and it's absolutely stunning. We've made it. I've actually made one of these videos before, if you've been following me for a while. When I think I was a year into my business and I'm now nearly 4 years into my business. So welcome back to this video. This is going to be how to become a dog walker in 2025. I feel like now that I'm a bit more established in the industry. I've been doing it for, as I said, nearly 4 years. I've had my ups and I've had my downs. So I feel like I need to do an updated video, and I get messages all the time about how to become a dog walker, my advice, how I run it, etc, etc. Now I'm going to start by saying, obviously, every single dog walking business is different, how people run things. Every person is different, all their preferences are different. So obviously I'm talking from my experience, my personal journey, as you could say, with the business, the ups, the downs, things I really want to tell you, really want to give you advice on. Obviously nothing is gospel, just take what I say with a pinch of salt, and obviously make sure you're doing everything, you know, research everything, make sure you're insured, etc, etc. Make sure that you're doing everything properly, legally, and take what I say with a pinch of salt, because obviously I'm talking from my own experience. So anyways, this is my advice. Let's get into it. The last video, I didn't actually have my own dog. This time, I have my own dog. The garden is currently being renovated. Come here. This is Ferg. He is a 2-year-old Doberman. You've been eating poo in the garden. I can smell it. You're gross. No, don't come near me. You're gross. I've had him since July now. You stink. But yeah. Yeah, I've got my own dog now. He does come on the groups. And yeah, he likes having his ears rubbed like this. Hopefully you can see it in the camera, but he likes his ears being rubbed. So, right, let's get into it. I have got my list here in front of me. My top thing is car. Your mode of transport, car, van, whatever you decide to go to. If you're just starting, I just want to preface by saying that you really don't need you really don't need anything fancy to begin with, as long as it's safe, and you've got seat belts and your front airbags are off and you are obviously transporting dogs safely. Don't stress about buying a big van with these great cages and everything like that. Just see how the business goes first. But I have to preface, you need to make sure that obviously if you are going in a smaller vehicle that you've got seat belts and your front airbags are off as well, so that if anything was to happen, the airbags aren't gonna hurt the dogs, God forbid. So yeah, I started off in a Ford Ka, the small Ford Kas, and I was doing solos, pairs, and I was doing 3 dogs at a time, so I could safely transport 3 dogs. So that's why I started off in, and then obviously 4 years later, I'm now in my 4x4. I have gone down each route. I have gone down the small car route, the 4x4 route, and the van route. Now, the only reason why I went down the 4x4 route, I'm not gonna lie, it's been hell. I have really awful luck with cars. However, I had a van for probably just under a year, and it was the best thing. Sorry, my dog's just having a wee. It was the best thing ever for the business, having the van, because I had proper crates in the back and I had so much room for equipment, etc, etc. So the van was 100% the best car I've had for the business. However, obviously I do a lot of horsey content now, and I use the 4x4 to tow. So a van isn't an option for me. Unfortunately, I'm not in the position to be able to have a van and a 4x4 to pay both of those. I don't have the funds for that. So my option was to go for a 4x4 so I could run the business and also tow as well. So I'm going to go through a few different things of what I think the pros and cons are of a 4x4 and a van. So the van, obviously day to day when you're dog walking, it's really practical. The space that you've got, obviously dogs have got their crates and stuff like that. Practically, it's so much better. However, I'm going to just get comfy with you guys. I didn't like driving a van round in day-to-day life. It just wasn't, it wasn't ideal. Obviously, that's a very first world problem. But I enjoy having a car to drive and my work car. But the cons of having the 4x4 is that your car is very dirty constantly, and it's yeah, unless you're super organised and you're on top of it all of the time, especially in the winter, your car is filthy, and obviously your day-to-day car then becomes very, yeah, filthy basically. However, I love my 4x4 because then once you do, you know, clean it out, you've got a nice car to drive, but you've also got the space, you know, big boot, etc., to then run the business in the 4x4. But yeah, so there's pros and cons to the 4x4 in the van. I suppose it depends what you want to do with the business. I'm quite happy running with a 4x4. It gives me the best of both worlds. I get to drive a nice car around, I've got enough space to run my group walks, and I've also got a car to tow the horses with. So 4x4 for me is stunning. However, I've had the worst luck mechanically with my 4x4s, but I know that it's just me because I know so many people who drive 4x4s and they've not had any problems. So it's just luck with cars, isn't it? So yeah, that's what I'd say about cars. Where's he gone now? I have got Bella, Bertie, Ruby, Pippa, Frog Dog, and Fug. Crazies, aren't you? Absolutely crazies. Oh, hello, what are you doing? Come on. We've come to this bridle way. To be fair, this walk's been a bit back and forth. It's been a bit like kind of walking up and down rather than a loop. Not my favourite type of walk, guys. My favourite type of walk is more of a loop where you can like start at the car, loop round and back. Yeah, don't know why. My leads of choice today: one green lead, which I got from a wholesaler, so sorry, I don't know how I can get these, but Mole Valley maybe. 3 Hunt Hounds leads, all different colours, and a lead rope. But yeah, we've got only about 15 minutes left of this walk already. The dogs are quite tired. It's so funny because they just don't adjust to warm weather very well. It's hilarious, isn't it? Because they cope really well all winter, and then in the UK it goes from like freezing cold to then it's like sort of 20 degrees, and the dogs are like, not used to this, guys. Next bit of advice is forms. So I do my forms on Google Docs, and I'm happy to send over my form to anyone who needs some advice or wants a kind of rough guide, or you can go on Etsy and buy them quite cheap as well. But obviously tailor them to your business and to your needs and what you think is important, etc. I think the most important things to have on forms, obviously all of it is important, but off the top of my head, the sort of 3 things that I would say are extremely important to put on your forms is obviously emergency contacts and vet details. That's kind of like one, is all the information about if anything happens and you need to get that dog help, you have the details to hand, and you can get that dog help straight away. And obviously consent to, if you need to rush them in the vets, you have the owner's consent to be able to make that move and obviously take them to the help straight away. But obviously you're going to make all the effort to contact the owners and the emergency contacts and make sure that, you know, they are very aware that you're going to the vets, not just taking them there because you fancy a little day out. You're getting them the help, but also you're getting hold of the owners as soon as you can to run everything through them, etc. So that is one thing that I would say, emergency details and vet details. Other thing that I would have on there is a cancellation policy, because obviously being self-employed, don't let people take the mick out of you. Definitely have a cancellation policy. So there's stages of my cancellation policy. So I have a 48-hour policy. So if you cancel within 48 hours, you get a 50% refund. If you cancel within 24 hours or on the day, you don't get a refund at all. Being a dog walker is a service. It's no different to popping to the shop and doing a food shop. It's no different to going to a hair salon and getting your hair done. You're providing a service. So if someone cancels on you on the day, this is your money to pay your bills. This is your money to look after your animals. This is your money to, you know, live life, etc., pay all your bills. So you need to be really strict about people not taking the mick out of you and just thinking that because you're just a dog walker that you don't need this money, because this is your income. This is my full-time job. So I'm very strict on cancellation policies. I have had people in the past, majority of all my customers are so lovely and they have been amazing, but you do get people who look down at dog walkers, I suppose, and don't think it's an actual job. So when you come to them with that cancellation policy, it's a bit of a shock, because they're a bit like, you know, why should, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but just don't let people take the mick out of you. That was actually one of my other bits of advice, which I might as well talk about now, is don't let people look down at you like this isn't a real job. I don't think people realise how much effort, time, organisation, communication, and money goes into being a dog walker, especially in the winter. It is hard graft, like it is a lot, and it's a proper job. Without us, the people who go to jobs that, you know, are in office and are out the house 9 till 5 or whatever their hours are, and their dog sat at home, without us their dog would be sat at home from 9 till 5 without a toilet break or without a walk, etc, etc. So without us, people would be at a dead end, and a lot of people wouldn't actually be able to have dogs or cats or whatever small animal. So yeah, be strong, be professional, be polite always, but make sure no one is taking the mick out of you, because this is a proper job, it's a proper industry, and this money is paying your bills. So make sure that cancellation policy is in that form. And then I'd say the third thing that's really important is knowing whether a dog is spayed or not, or if they're intact or not intact. I do walk both. I walk intact dogs, non-intact dogs. I walk dogs who are spayed and aren't spayed. However, the bitches that come into season, you need to be very careful about who you group them with, if you can walk them, etc, etc. So sometimes obviously dogs still need walking when they're in season, and you know, life carries on, but you might walk them as a solo on lead, and obviously keep them under control, don't let them off a lead, etc, etc. So just make sure you're very aware of what the dog needs. And yeah, we are on the next group. We have got Dutch, Tula, Toby, Dougal and Rolo. Just currently walking up this hill. Honestly, everyone's always like, oh, you're really fit as a dog walker. Nope. Hills I still get very out of breath on. Mad, isn't it? Ferg is at home. I managed to quickly go back home, have some lunch, have a coffee, and then I wanted to start this group at 12, and it wasn't quite 12 o'clock. So yeah, we are about halfway through. They're all very much enjoying themselves. This way! Come on! Like so. They all very much know the commands. Toby's like, hang on, I think you're lying to me. Come on, Doogie. Hey, Rolo. They're so good though. Oh my gosh. It's not even that much of a hill. Bit of an incline. Rolo's like, I'm knackered. I'm really chilled. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm sat in the sun and I'm in like a really chilled chit-chat mood, so that's stunning. I do just want to come and say that this video is very kindly sponsored by Protectivity Insurance. I am very grateful actually to be insured with Protectivity. They are covering my dog walking, my pet sitting and my pet taxi as well, which is really exciting. So I'm going to tell you the things that they cover me for. So they cover me for public liability, loss of keys, care, custody and control, equipment cover, non-negligent cover, optional employer's liability, legal expenses, professional liability and personal accident cover. There's a bee buzzing around me. One of the most important things about running your business is that you are insured. It means your back is covered, the dog's backs are covered, your equipment is covered. Please, please, please get insurance if you're wanting to become a dog walker. Don't just start walking dogs. Make sure you're insured and make sure you've got a DBS check as well. So as I said, I am with Protectivity Insurance. You can actually get 15% discount if you click the link in the description and go and get a quote with them. So that's there for you guys. So thank you Protectivity for giving my followers that, because that's really kind. From the beginning I have always been insured. I'm now insured with Protectivity. Really excited to be working with them. They cover me for so much more than the last company did, so I feel a lot more actually comforted now that I'm covered a lot more than I was before. So thank you Protectivity. Very excited, feel very calm, anxiety levels are low and the business is all good. So make sure you guys go check them out, and if you are looking for new insurance, then as I said, click the link in the description and you can have a look yourself. Hello everyone, it is currently Wednesday morning. The sun is out. It's so nice. However, it is cold, not gonna lie. So we have got Ferg this morning, Hugo, Monty, Barney and Pippa. We've come to this footpath. All the bluebells are out. Look at that, absolutely stunning. Oh, zoom in. And it's so nice down here. It's so quiet. And listen, heaven. Okay, the next thing that's on my list is advertising and social media. This kind of goes all together. So looking back at how I first started, I think I would have done it differently. I spent a lot of money on leaflets and business cards. Guys, you just don't need them. If you meet anyone out on a walk I mean, you can absolutely hand them a business card. 9 times out of 10, they're going to lose it. So if ever I meet anyone out on a walk and they're like, oh, are you a dog walker? Can I have your details? I simply just get them to take their phone out and put my number in, and they can give me a text. Or I give them my Facebook page and I just say, are you on Facebook? And if they say yes, great. I literally get up on their phone, follow it. If no, fab, let's get your number out, because everyone has got a phone on them nowadays. That just don't spend your money. Personally, I wouldn't spend my money again on leaflets and business cards, because they just didn't do much for me. So yeah, I wouldn't really spend money on that. I mean, you can definitely have the business cards, but I just think if someone gave me a business card, I would literally lose it within 2 seconds, and then I'd be like, oh, what was that dog walker's number? Whereas if your number's in their phone, boom, done. And then social media, in the forms, make sure that you are getting consent from the owners to have the dogs or small animal on your social media pages, and make sure they sign it to say, yep, all good. But social media is a great way of doing updates for the owners. So if they're at work and they're like, oh, I wonder how my dog's getting on, they can go on your Instagram story or Facebook or whatever and think, oh, there's a photo of them or a story or whatever. So if you're active and, you know, owners can go on there and be like, oh, I wonder how my dog's getting on. Social media is a really strong one. Get into Facebook groups, share your business out there. And yeah, just make sure you're getting consent from owners, obviously, to share their dog. Obviously, social media for me has literally brought me to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc, etc. So I would 100% say make a Facebook page, 100%. And then for kind of like quick stories and just fun posts, I'd say Instagram as well. But in terms of locally advertising, I would say Facebook is probably your best shout. That's where majority of my customers have come from. And then after that, it's been through word of mouth. So I think that's it on sort of advertising. Advertising, I'd say stay consistent, keep posting photos of your walks, get people to leave you reviews as well, and make sure your page is looking nice and it's attractive and it's not, you know, bad photos or anything like that. Make it eye-catching. So yeah, it's definitely worth putting a bit of time and effort into your social media. It definitely makes a difference, or I personally think it definitely makes a difference. Now this one, I am not gonna lie, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm really bad at this one, but it's so important, and I know how important it is, but I find it quite overwhelming sometimes. But it's communication. I think where I've got quite comfortable with my businesses and my customers, I just know the routine and they know the routine. However, please, like, if it's one of my just bad habits, but be really on it with your communication. My best friend Georgie, she's a dog groomer. She is on it with her communication. She's so good at replying to messages, making it clear, making it very black and white. I think with dog walking, it can become very autopilot, and yeah, you just kind of know the routine. But communication is a big one. Make sure you're on it with your messages, you're being professional, you're giving, you know, owners their days and their times. I don't give times, but if you do give them their times, everyone loves someone who's good at communicating. What I would say in terms of your group walks, if you're planning to do group walks, is obviously be very vigilant about who you're grouping together. I'm very lucky now that I've been walking a lot of my dogs for up to nearly 4 years now, and I know them really, really well. I know exactly who they can walk with. I know exactly who they can't walk with. I know the routine in the car, coming out of the car. I know them all very, very well. However, if I was just starting out, just go really slowly with your groups. Start with solos, then start with pairs, then pair dogs together, mix and match. But obviously, just make sure you're doing everything very carefully, and you will soon, your weeks will kind of be like, I know where that dog goes, I know where that dog goes, I know what that group can go together, that group, etc, etc. Once you start to know your dogs, it becomes a little bit more simpler. But obviously, just be very vigilant. The dogs are getting along well, they all suit each other, they're fine in the car, just everything that's very safe and sensible and calm. You don't want your group walks to be chaotic. Sometimes they are, that's just life, that's just being a dog walker. Sometimes walks are just absolutely manic, but yes, that's what I would say about the group walks. And also, something I would say, not every customer is for you. Oh my gosh, I have taken such like self-esteem hits when I've had to tell a customer that they're just not the customer for me, basically. There are a lot of people that won't be suitable for your way of walking. It sounds so silly because you just think dog walking is dog walking. However, it depends on location, it depends what type of dog, it depends on what walk they're wanting, what time they're wanting. There's all those factors come together, and if they're not suiting your day, or they're not suiting this group, or etc, etc, it is going to be more stress for you to keep them in the business than it would for you to go to them and say, I'm so sorry, but it just isn't working out for me. However, here are some recommendations of some other walkers that might be more suitable for you. I really hope, wish you all the best in the future. No hard feelings. Obviously, give them like notice. Don't just be like, yeah, bye. Like, be professional about it. But don't hang on to customers just because it's going to give you more stress. And I promise you, in those winter months, if you are stressed and it's winter and you're out walking dogs in the peeing rain, then you're going to hate this job, because it's not for the faint-hearted. I can tell you that now. Summertime is still hard work because obviously the heat, dogs, you've got to be very careful in the heat. But in the winter, it's just, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is hard work. Last bit of advice before I end this video is, don't be a yes man. I have been a yes man before, many a times actually, and it's actually bit me in the arse more than it's done me good. Because if I say yes to everyone, I have 2 arms and I can't get to everyone, and I've said yeah, and then I have been chasing my tail all day. I then am not there on time. I have to shorten things because I'm not going to be with that dog on time, and I can't get here and drive there because of the traffic, and it's too much. Don't be a yes man. Do exactly what works for your schedule. And yeah, if you're a one-man band, you just can't do everything. So be a yes man, but also don't be a yes man. You know, fill your diary as much as you want to fill your diary, but equally, if it doesn't work for your schedule, it doesn't work for your schedule. Just give people notice, be professional about it, obviously apologise, and just try your best. That's kind of all you can do. Thank you so much, Protectivity Insurance, for sponsoring this video. Very exciting. So happy to be sponsored by them, and to also have my business insured with them. It's made me, as I said, really comforted. So glad I'm insured for so much more now. And obviously, as I said, if you guys are looking for pet sitting and dog walking and pet taxi insurance, go and have a look. The link is in the description. And yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I still have so much more that I can give, but I feel like this video is getting quite long, so I'm going to leave it there. But so if you guys want a part 2, I will absolutely do that for you. And if you have any questions, comment them down below or message me on Instagram. My Instagram is @thewalkingequestrian, and @thewalkingequestrian on TikTok as well. I post on Instagram and TikTok every single day. So if you want more up-to-date content, then I'm over there every single day on stories, and obviously TikTok as well. So go over there and have a look. I do a lot of horse and dog content, so if you're interested in that. And I wish you guys all the best. Obviously, remember what I said at the beginning about not everything I've said is gospel, and this is just my personal experience. So yeah, hopefully some of it helped you. Hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit more confident in your businesses. But yeah, slay. Have a great day. Bye.